At times I've spoken with people and they share with me that they're no longer going to the Catholic Church because either the priest's homilies were just not feeding them, or various other reasons about problems in the Catholic Church, even the priest pedophile situation, or things that they don't like about the church. And every single time, what I experience in my heart is they have not yet discovered the truth of Jesus in the Eucharist, that Jesus is truly present in the Eucharist. And this morning in the Office of Readings was such a powerful reading. St. Ambrose from the 300s, way back from the 300s. He's one of the church fathers. And he is speaking about the Eucharist, powerful words to us. And he's likening the Israelites in the desert as they received manna from heaven, and then they received water from the rock to drink. And he's saying this is a prefiguring. This is symbolic of the reality of Christ in the Eucharist, who is truly the living bread come down from heaven. God living in the form of bread, and his precious blood flowing, symbolizing the flowing of his precious blood from Jesus, who is our rock. And St. Ambrose says, if anyone tastes of it, meaning the Eucharist, with reverence, he will be incapable of corruption, because the Eucharist is truly the living bread. It's God. And then he goes on later and says, the Jew drinks and still thirsts, but when you drink, you will be incapable of thirst. And this is truly what is meant to happen to us as Catholics as we receive Jesus in the Eucharist. Do we receive him with reverence? Do we receive him with a disposed heart? And as we receive the Holy Eucharist, we're receiving his body and his blood. And if we truly are disposed, then we do not thirst. We do not have need of other things to fill us, because we're sated with God here on earth. And this is exactly what Pope John Paul II tells us in one of his last writings to us on the Eucharist, when he said, the greatest hunger of the human heart is for communion with God, and we will only be sated here on earth through his Eucharistic presence in preparation for union with him in heaven. So I encourage all of us as Catholics to continue each day to pray for the grace to recognize what we really have. The source and summit of the whole Christian life is Jesus in the Eucharist. And for those of you who may be Protestant or fallen away Catholics for various reasons, I encourage you to just pray and ask God to reveal the fullness of his truth, and even read John chapter 6 in the gospel, and just have your heart open, because for I myself can say from my own experience, I did not realize Jesus was present in the Eucharist. And it was a friend of mine one day when I was talking to him many, many years ago, and I mentioned that the Eucharist was just a symbol. And he said to me, hey, you better watch it. The Eucharist is not a symbol. The Eucharist is truly Jesus in our midst. And when he said that, I said, whoa. From then on, I started having more of a grace, and through Mary, I started coming to know Jesus truly present, and then I started to experience him in such a profound way through my spiritual senses, that he truly is alive and present in our midst. So Jesus, we thank you for remaining with us in the Holy Eucharist, and we pray for the grace to come to know you more deeply, and that you truly will be lifted up everywhere in your Eucharistic presence, beginning in the hearts of all priests and all parishes and all the hearts of all Catholics, through the heart of Mary. God bless you all.